Hi, so I'm just sorry, got feedback here. I actually made the video and now I'm going to record the audio for it separately. So I just find it easier because I find it hard to concentrate when I'm doing it at the same time. So if you haven't got the starter content in the in Unreal Project, you can add it like I'm adding it here. So basically I'm going to do how to open a door using interfaces. So first of all, I'll do a folder. I'm going to call it door. I'm then going to make two blueprints. One of the blueprints is going to be an actor. So that's something in the world that will have an action. So basically, you know, it's something that you set up that you can interact with. That's basically part of the normal blueprint kind of setup. And then I'm going to add a kind of more custom blueprint, which is an interface blueprint. So it's not something I'm going to put in the world, but it's something that's going to connect the player to an action that occurs in this case. So it's one of the better ways rather than casting sometimes to do. Basically it allows you to put a function in the world. If you've done coding in any way, you probably understand the idea of functions. They often work outside of the kind of normal coding network. You don't have to put an in or an out or anything into it, just purely, actually in a way you can think of it almost like a tag as well. So you can do this with tags, but I'm going to do this with an interface. I'll probably go into tags at another time. So once I've got it, the blueprint that is that kind of round sphere thing, the door, that's going to be the door. So I need to put the door in it. Also, if you open your window and it looks like that, it's always quite good practice to kind of just attach it to the top of the timeline so you can kind of go between the windows, you can go through the tabs. First of all, I'm going to put a door frame. So I've only got the door frame because I've got the starter content, because the models are in there. So if you don't see a door frame, you know, you need to put the starter content in. So I've put a static mesh. So static mesh is empty. So you just, you know, put in, well, static mesh has the mesh, but then you want to give it the shape or the character that you want it to be. That one I want to be a door frame. And the other one I want to be a door dot that will be inside the frame. You could just use a door. You don't have to have the door frame as well, but just for this, I want the door frame and the door. So if I look once again on this static mesh for door, and there I've chosen something called door that doesn't look like a door. I think it might be an entrance to a cave or something that they've put in now. So I want the one that looks like a door. Okay, once it's there, so remember to you know, put it into place as well, and to always compile as you go along. So if I turn it around, if I drag on the green arrow, I'm just going to put it into the place. And now I need to activate it as well. So I need a collision box. So I'm just bringing that in. And also, when you bring it in, have a look at the hierarchy down the left-hand side. Make sure that the collision box is kind of connected to what you want it to be. So there it's at the top. It's not really that worrisome at this point, and I'm going to make it big enough that you go over it rather than as the handle. But yeah, I've just dragged it down to the bottom. I'm going to expand it, just make it really big so that the third person character walks into it no matter what, and the door will hopefully open. So now I need to bring the interface in. That blueprint that I made, the blueprint interface, and I think I called it interact. So go to class settings, have a look at your interfaces. You can add an interface here. So basically all it's saying is that this door will have this interact interface. So anything that's kind of goes over it that's you know, got something that can activate that interface will activate it. Because I'm going to put that interface into the third person character as well. Okay, but for now, if you click on it twice, it's going to put it into the graph. So this is the door. So I'm going to make a Boolean. This is kind of classic, you know, is it open, is it closed, two states. So you can think of the Boolean as kind of a state machine. So I'm putting it there. I'm not going to click the box because the door is closed, so it's not open. So I'm calling it door open. So it's like you want to do something to activate the door. I'm going to put a not node in as well, so that just to reinforce the idea that the door is not open. And then I want to put a branch. So this is kind of a condition, you know, so it's saying one or the other. So, you know, like a Boolean and that a bit, but the Booleans actually feed into the branch, so they're the condition. So we were saying if the door is not open, this is what you should do to the code. I got a bit confused here for a second because I've been using my blueprints for a while. So I just want to set the Boolean. So remember, so we got the Boolean to represent it, and now I want to set it. So once again, to like use the two states. So one I'll click to make active. So if the door is not is open, do this, and if the door is open, do this. I'm going to put a timeline in. You don't have to put a timeline in. It will just allow me to give it a bit of an animation so it gets a swing. Sometimes the appropriate node isn't always at the top. The one that you actually need might be the one right at the bottom, even though it seems a bit counterintuitive. So I'm going to add a track. So a timeline is just a way of animating something through time. So I'm going to connect that to the start. So it's ticked. So if the door is not open, and then if the door is open, I want it to close. So I'm putting a reverse in. You don't have to have that. You may want the door just to stay open. So I'm going to go into the timeline. I'm going to add a track. So that's through time. It's just a timeline. I'm going to add a node. Did I call him a node? A point. I'm going to set the point. I'm going to set the length of the timeline as well to 1 second, because that's how long I want it to swing. Keyframe, not a point. Then I'm going to set the timeline so I can just see it like that. I'm going to set my second keyframe at 1 second, and I'm also going to give it a kind of value of 90, which is like a 90-degree swing. So I'm putting it all in here. You don't have to, but I just find it easiest because it uses less nodes. So I'm setting the second point. So at 1 second it will swing over to 90 degrees, and then it should reverse when it goes the other way. Okay, I'm going to close out. I'm going to go back to my graph. You can see there I've got that new channel. I didn't give it a name, but that's the one that I just made. So I'm going to bring the door in, the reference to what I want the timeline to affect. Cool, and then I'm going to set, so remember set, you're giving it a value. I'm going to set relative rotation, so relative rather than world, so relative in relation to itself, so I want it to like turn on the axis. As you can see, it's got a purple pin. It won't actually go into my channel. That's because my channel is just one axis. You know, it's only on one channel, so I need to split the struct. So I'll get my 3 aspects, and then, as you can see, so do use the colors. If things can't connect, it's normally, you know, the colors are a good lead as to why not. Like, you know, maybe it's a vector or something. So that should allow it to swing. I'm not sure. Okay, so now I just need to activate it. So I'm going to go into the third person character blueprint, the player, the pawn, the thing you control. the thing I want to open the door. I'm going to give it a key as well. Okay, so there's different ways of doing this, and Unreal obviously has got the way to actually make you know, your key actions and that. But for now, and actually sometimes just for testing and that, it's best just to like stick a key in. So I'm saying I want the E key. So when I press the E key, I could have had it actually that it just swung whatever, but I'm going to do it that, you know, I press the E key. I feel it's got more of kind of interactive potential to it. And then I'm going to get overlapping actors. I'm going to get, so I'm using a get node to get the overlapping actors. So I'm saying anything that overlaps. And I'm going to call the function the interact one. Cool. So hopefully if I press the E key, the door should open. So I'm going to put the door into the game world. So I need to go back to my blueprint. Okay, I'm pressing E and nothing's happening. I do know why. Actually, I thought this before I'd done it, but I thought I'd leave it in. So just always remember to check on your blueprints, check that all the pins are connected, but also that the kind of streaming line is in, like the white pins. Sometimes it seems quite obvious, but it can be quite regular that you forget to actually just finish off. See, if I check there, the timeline's paused because I hadn't connected it, so I wasn't like launching the event when the E key was pushed. There, the door is open, and if I press it again, the door will close.